This is a how-to video on installing G8M8, a solar-powered, remote-controlled farm gate opener. In summary, we fix this bracket to the relevant post. Screw it to a timber post, bolt it to a steel pipe, or use Dynabolts to connect it to a concrete gate post. To the bracket, we add a tray. This tray is precisely positioned using a plumb bob. We attach a sleeve and pin to the gate and then hang the gate. To the tray, we add a magic box. The gate now has two stable positions: the open position and the closed position. The magic box powers the movement between the two stable positions. The operation of the G8M8 relies on movements within about 10 millimeters, so the post, the hinge post, needs to be very stable. So that's just fine. This one, obviously, not at all. So if the post is loose, the hinge post is loose, you can tamp it down. You can brace it, or you could consider replacing it. The hinge post should be approximately the same height as the gate. There's a bit of latitude. What's important is the height of the mount, and that's provided in this chart on page 2. This post, for instance, is pretty good. Also is this one. This is a latch post, doesn't matter so much. This one's the gate too high, can be lowered, the bracket's lowered. This one, fine, but once again, lowered again. The gate can open either left or right, but that can be changed. The one that you have will be provided in the packing notes. If you have a gate opening that is sloping, then put the mount on the uphill post and have the gate opening so that it opens downhill. For timber posts, collect the tools illustrated. You will find that it is a 10mm timber drill bit and a 16mm socket and driver. The two spanners are 10 and 16mm. The chainsaw is clearly only required if you need to trim the post. The screws are supplied. You should take the mount and you should mount it so that it is horizontal and with the slots running parallel to the open gate. The height above the post will be given in the written notes. On page 2 there's a chart. For steel pipe posts, you need to assemble the tools that are illustrated. You'll find that the drill bit is 10mm and the spanners, there's two 16mm spanners. What you will need to do is drill two holes in your pipe post as far apart as possible, and you'll need to mount the mount so that it is horizontal and so that the slots in it run parallel with the open gate. The height above the post will be provided in your notes. On page 2 there is a diagram. If you have a 3-inch pipe post, you will need to lay your hands on two M10 85mm bolts, and these you need to drill 2 holes and go all the way through the post. For solid steel posts, assemble the tools illustrated. The spanners are a 10 and a 16mm. Weld the mount in position so that the top is horizontal and the slots in it are parallel to the open gate position. The height of the mount above the gate post will be provided in the diagram on page 2 of your written notes. For concrete posts, assemble the tools illustrated. The spanners are 10 and 16mm and the drill bit is an 8mm masonry drill bit. Drill your holes to a depth of 40mm. Sometimes this can be quite difficult. Once you have done that, insert the masonry anchor with its sleeve protruding through the mount and expand the anchors by fully tightening the nuts. The mount needs to be Horizontal, the slots need to be parallel with the opening gate position, and the height above the post will be provided by the chart on page 2 of your written notes. The tray, which is pictured, is supplied for a right or left opening gate. That'll be marked on your packaging. To change from one to the other, you can see, take the tray, undo the bolts, turn the tray over, and reinstall the bolts at exactly the same holes that they came from, with the orientation that they originally had. Position the tray on top of the mat. The bolts should be projecting upwards. In the tray, you'll find a very small hole. Get the plumb bob which is supplied and attach it to that hole, and that plumb bob will hang down, and it should be exactly above the bottom mount. So you can see here the capacity to make some adjustments. Small adjustments are being made to make sure that that plumb bob is hanging correctly. Attach the sleeve to the top of the gate, with the pin closely in line with the vertical end of the gate. The pin should be vertical. Use the self-tapping screws supplied, starting with the centre hole. Pre-drill the holes if necessary. If the gate is across level ground, you can lift the latch end of the gate by moving the sleeve towards the centre of the gate. The pin may have to be shortened to allow this. Each 10mm will lift the latch end of the gate about 35mm. Lift the gate so that the pin goes up through the big slot in the tray, and then lower the gate onto the bottom hinge. Adjust the height of the pin so that the roller bearing is within the big slot. Now test the gate by swinging it. The gate should be stable in the shut position or up to 10 degrees past closed, and stable in the open position. If any adjustment is necessary, it is recommended that you mark the starting position of the tray before making any changes. Controlled adjustment of the tray location is easy with no load on the pin, achieved by supporting the latch end of the gate. With the end of the gate unloaded, the pin should be able to move freely within the slot. Fine tuning of the closed position is achieved, with the gate closed, by moving the tray left or right, facing the gate post. Move it in the desired direction. 10mm will move the stable position 15 degrees. Fine tuning of the open position is done, with the gate open, by moving the tray in or right relative to the gate post. Move it in the desired direction. Again, 10mm moves the stable position 15 degrees. This is the magic box. It's this box that moves the pin so that the gate moves from an open stable position to a closed stable position. We can get inside the box. You can see you can take the back cover off there, and inside you'll see a battery pack. It's a 3-cell battery pack. Each cell is 3.7 volts. It's lithium ion, can be recharged, and you can see the solar panel there that will do the recharging. Be very gentle as you remove, if you're doing anything inside the box. You don't want to disconnect any wires from the circuit board inside. So if we gently see it removed here, we can see the contents. On the left there, you can see the linear actuator, and that's the thing that actually does the moving of the pin. At the top there, just under the hand, you can see there are 3 connectors. The one on the right is the battery connecting to the circuit board. The one in the middle is the solar panel connecting, and the one on the left is the one that connects actually to the linear actuator. Jumper is a removable connection between 2 pins on a circuit board. Here you can see at the top there is that it's black, and this is the frequency jumper. It's been worked on here. Normally your magic box will come set to frequency A, and you've got B, C and D, and if you have gates in close proximity to each other, you may want to change the frequency, remove from frequency A and put it on the frequency that you require. Below the jumper for channel and frequency, you'll find another jumper, and you'll need to change this jumper if you have a side mounted gate. Change it from 1 to the other. The magic box is supplied for a right or left opening gate. The one you have will be indicated on your package. To change from one to the other, slide the contents out. Be careful not to place tension on the cable connecting the battery. Turn the contents over. And reinsert. We now need to mount the magic box on the tray. You'll need to remove the nuts from the bolts that protrude up from the tray. Place the magic box so that the hole in the linear actuator rod goes onto the pin and the other linear actuator hole goes onto the long bolt on the tray. Fix the 3 M6 nuts to the bolts from the tray into the magic box. There is no nut on the long bolt above the actuator. This is difficult to do with the linear actuator fully extended or fully retracted, so the actuator has been shipped in mid-stroke position. If not, connect the battery, use the remote to remove the actuator, and after about 4 or 5 seconds, disconnect the battery to stop the actuator. Fit the magic box to the tray, connect the battery pack. Use the remote to test the gate operation. Mount the catch on the post. And then position the striker on the gate so that the striker enters the catch cleanly. Now it's time to test your gate. It should open. And then after a pause, it should return to the closed position.